this first round. FABRIKEN lead the series of the best of 3 by 1 map total, and PartyParrots now looking for the opportunity to come back. They're starting out on the attack, and FABRIKEN already 3 members lined up over towards Long B, and they want to push out.
Taking the time, Angel there. Wanted to make his presence known, I feel, to try and bait people away, but you can see just how closed in this defense is on B along. The camera set up, just keeping an eye on. As soon as they spot people, they might just flank around. They're going to go into the sight line now. The camera gets destroyed. The flash is good one. There's so many people there, but no kills actually come through. They managed to get it, but just narrowly. That could have been a disaster for them on that defense.
And the Trapwire is going to spot out any potential movements out from Hookah as well. Some more kills coming through. That's 4 total. Japan will clean up the last one, but Meadow is the hero of that particular round. 3 total kills for him. The flash has come through very strongly. The camera picks up the entire movement of PartyParrots, and FABRIKEN were laying out the trap. They put the bait out there as well. And as soon as the camera was destroyed, the flash came on through, the cleanup occurred, the trap wire over to the other side of the map, and a very, very clean round to start things out with for map number 2.
And that's what I meant about these executed plays, these orchestrated like lineups and strategies that both these teams need to pull out. FABRIKEN have started nicely with an early one, but there needs to be more plays like that if they want to win this one out. PartyParrots will also have a few tricks of the trade that they will want to inherit. But that owl drone is going to scout out that there are people towards B. PartyParrots are going to maybe push up a little bit on A. You can see the Cypher within the bathhouse, but other than that, they've really sort of held their ground.
Shadows says be careful about this situation. He'll swing on through and find a nice headshot onto his counterpart SSK there. They didn't have a lot to work with. Very aggressive angle, by the way. Spotted the spike, dropped it onto the floor. We'll get the 3rd kill as well. Artist falls in short order. As Leo Deads will pick up the 4th kill total, and Shao, all is lonesome now over towards Fountain, has nowhere to go. Can't go towards Hookah. He would love to pick up the spike, but it has been carefully guarded and watched by all of FABRIKEN. The only member that's low there that is approachable for a kill would, of course, be Shadow, who's on 50% HP, won't be able to be healed up, but possibly won't die either. Spotted, and I am surprised that Latex can clean up that kill. Doesn't matter though, Shadow's got it.
Very quick 4K does mean that he may want to give up his Spectre to somebody else and can probably afford the operator this early into it, but maybe deciding to save the operator for a future round. Yet again, play aggressively towards Hookah with the majority of the FABRIKEN members. And right now, PartyParrots looking to execute very heavily onto the A site now that they have the guns available. Granted, Dinks can only afford half the armor, so this is a heavy stack towards B that might open up an opportunity for PartyParrots on A.
FABRIKEN are doing this once again. It worked out for them very early on. Twice in a row. That one was twice in a row. The 3rd time, or the 2nd time in 3 rounds. It doesn't matter though. A is what we're looking at over here. 1-for-1 trade early on. The only defender there is going to be Leo Deads, who needs to really try and hold the line until the rest of the defenders can come and assist him. Won't be able to stop the plant from coming through. First shot dart does not connect, and the second one will go to the void as well. 4-on-4 situation for the retake.
And it's how FABRIKEN take this. Do they take U-Haul aggressively? They can't because Shao is holding on to it from the other side. As a nice pixel perfect angle, but Meadow's able to respond to it. The aftershock is going to be a good one from SSK to push people back, but now they're going to make their way in, or at least try and bait that way, as Meadow's going to wrap around and catch out whoever. There's 3 surviving members now of PartyParrots. Meadow gets flushed out. Well, SSK gets flushed out by Meadow. That's the 3rd. It's just going to be the Cypher now. Dinks tags it. He's got to try and force himself in. Gets a kill of the Shadow Walls. Doesn't seem to be much time now, as the defuse is attempted by Meadow. It's just not enough time. Really well played from PartyParrots to hold off there.
Meadows at least gets the last kill available and then ends up dying himself as well. So all 10 members now will be reset. All rebuys across the map now for both squads. 2-1 the scoreline as well. PartyParrots will be able to finally turn things around in that 3rd run as you'd expect them to. But heavy losses, that's the biggest problem here, which does mean that unfortunately, despite rebuying into this round, they are hurting for money. They do not have full armor. Artist doesn't even have a proper gun yet. He's still onto the Bulldog over here. And meanwhile, you talked about the possibility of an operator. Well, now that's in the hands of Shadows. He is ready to frag over towards Hookah.
was a good save for them. Nothing is decisive this time for PartyParrots. They're not going to necessarily push up and stack up too hard. And just positioning is given up. The only ultimate available on the scene right now is the neural theft on the side of Meadow and FABRIKEN. But they need to get that frag first to find that effective use. And Zipan is holding super close on this corner of the B site. No doubt going to be first contact as PartyParrots are looking to push in.
Smoke's down.
Well, they have trap wires there as well for the assistance. Japan won't be able to make another live after one kill, unfortunately. He's not a jet. The Rays can only do so much here. Dinks, after getting down Meadow, brings things a little bit closer to victory for PartyParrots, who are now working at a 4v3 advantage. The last three of FABRIKEN trying to enter through the defensive spawn, all stacked up together. No control over towards Elbow. They'll be split up now by the Hunter's Ferry. In fact, they'll be lucky to get out of the live shadows. Looking to be the casualty here. Survives on 45 HP. But that will be enough. That'll be enough for him to maybe think about trying to do something here. Leo Deads makes his entry into a live shadow again. Low, but still in action. Operator in hand for the 2 versus 2. The timer is ticking. 3 members here across both teams. Super low HP. The only full HP person is going to be Dinks. And he's hiding. His position will be revealed soon from the Cybercage, and he will win this round for sure.
Again, wasted so much time now. The camera's going to be placed up to see exactly where the spike is. There is still a bit of time, but it's got to be a full dedication now from ShadowLols. It's going to take a shot, save the operator, and give up another round for PartyParrots. It isn't coming down to the frags, it's just how they play, and Dinks is actually going to give chase.
Oh, he's going for it. Oh, yep, he's got it. Shadow was on no HP there. I think Shadow could have potentially have gotten that kill. He was setting up the angle for it as well. He could have even just kept on running. Just run through, get onto the other side of the door. Why even challenge him? Maybe he thought he had the drop on Dinks coming through the teleporter. The opposite here is true, and Dinks will even have time to pick up the dropped AWP. Now give it over to himself, actually. Doesn't give it to anybody. We'll just hold on to this one moving into this next round for number 5.
An awkward buy, as you can see, for FABRIKEN. They are going to try and force it as much as they possibly can, which is a big gamble to say the least, but they do have a few ultimates now starting to come online. In all fact, they had before, but the Rolling Thunder is now available for ShadowLols. PartyParrots are feeling themselves a little bit more now, but it is just now just taking pot shots, trying to take space and put a bit more pressure on FABRIKEN, who haven't necessarily buckled, but they've been very awkward to respond, certainly when the spike gets planted.
There's something about breach players and using buckies and all sorts of shotguns, by the way. Saw SSK doing it earlier. Shadows is thinking, yeah, I might do the same thing now. Leo will surely find first contact soon, and that is with the help of his teammate backing out in towards the U-Haul. He'll get one, but will get traded instantly. The rotations from the 3-side defense on B working their way in. Latix has to hold for as long as possible. Latix currently still has control over U-Hauls. That's important for the retake. That does mean they can use that as an angle to get back in there. With the Latix dead, maybe not.
FABRIKEN all coming from the same direction. Angel gets taken out in U-Haul though. They could put a bit more pressure in, but SSK is there to be a bit more of a fun in the side. The flash doesn't really catch too much, but Shao is there to completely bait them off guard. ShadowLols is the last alive. Changing up the bookie now for a Spectre. Still not an ideal gun, but that Rolling Thunder is actually going to catch both surviving members of PartyParrots. He's going to push onto one, gets the kill onto SSK, but you can see the distance that Dinks is playing at. The camera's going to give up his position and he's going to peek it, but again, not much time for FABRIKEN to get these kills in.
Once again, the same 2 members that were left alive over towards that last round. It comes down to Dinks versus Shadows and a 1 versus 1 situation. Last time ShadowLols had the operator, was not able to connect the shots. Dinks is not going to make the same mistake, and he is able to win the round. He is able to then get the kill as well. And for ShadowLols, wanted to make the upgrades on the weaponry, started with the Bucky, went towards the Spectre, looked for the operator. It was just a little bit too far out of reach for him, and now a force buy coming through from FABRIKEN going into round number 6. It will be light armor for everybody. A couple of stingers, a couple of buckies, and a sheriff for Japan.
Because it is a half buy, they should be able to afford full necks, so they aren't forced to save, but they are taking these last 2 rounds very slowly. Getting some damage done to PartyParrots, but certainly not being able to steal a few of these rounds, really. PartyParrots are playing it super well. They're just sort of, like, again, taking the space, manipulate FABRIKEN to play particular positions, and then just buying time when the plant comes in and just playing more Counter-Strikey. I think that's been the case certainly on Bide so far. Iggs opens up the kill, but Latex gets a double with a Stinger spray. So he's still alive on A as Angel's making tracks there, and the Spike's going to follow suit.
Well, 20 bullets to the Stinger, he's able to peek on and punish 2 players working their way in. That is not a normal thing to see. He's not even a Brim player, so he didn't even flash them. He just looks like he Drake peeked them maybe through a smoke or something, but he's allowed now the numbers to really go the way of FABRIKEN. 4-3, but ultimates available for both sides. Half HP here, by the way, for Latex. Still holding over towards the same location. He'll make contact soon as Angel punches him in the face long range, courtesy of the Vandal. Showstopper trying to come in through. Where's the Showstopper going to land, though? Does get the kill onto Angel. Now a 3 versus 3 Resurrection in play.
Gone.
Zipan gets a kill, but it's traded. The Spike is going to eventually get planted now, but the Neural Effect is going to give up their positioning. The aftershot's going to force Shower away, even get some damage in. It's a 1 versus 2 now, and he's going to back off around the wall that was put down.
Revealing area.
Lucabolt's going to show if anybody's pushing it. He doesn't quite get any intel, but he sees a couple of bodies. The fault line is going to be a good stun. And Shadow with the Bucky is the saving grace. To make sure that the scores are still tied, he's going to upgrade his gun before he goes for the defuse. 3-all.
And he finally gets that operator back into his hands. If this was a 1v1 versus Dinks, maybe Dinks wins it again somehow, some way. He's done it twice already. Why not make it 3 in a row here? But Shadows, eventually, that might even be his original operator now, gets to be put back into his own hands. What he purchased returned towards him. And 3-all, like I sort of mentioned here. Very competitive first half. 2 going the way of FABRIKEN, 3 then in a row for PartyParrots, and now 1 rescued back for FABRIKEN with the defuse, and money looking pretty tight for both ends. It's going to be quite deadly for both teams in this particular round. The loser will not be happy with their money situation.
And there's so many ultimates for PartyParrots to play with. One of them is going to be dedicated straight away to Hunter's Fury, shooting across the site and catches onto Latex, making a path for Angel to push through into U-Haul. Ixie's going to be a good one, but the Hunter's Fury is responded in kind. Isn't quite catching onto Shao. He's managing to dip around it, so it is a bit more wasted. The only ultimate available now for FABRIKEN was actually going to be the Orbital Strike from Latex, which would have been super nice now. 3 more ultimates to play with for PartyParrots as they get the plant in.
Honest Fury not entirely wasted by Leo Dids. He was able to slow down the Spike plant at least during the time that the Hunter's Fury was there, slowing down enough to allow the rest of FABRIKEN to come through with their full numbers. Full numbers now -2, of course, with Shadow Levels down to HSK. 1 return towards the pan, but will they go for this one? They look like they're actually going to back out, or at least giving away a lot of space. All the way out now is Meadow, retreating to B, with Leo Dids just swapping guns. The rest of these last 2 members will follow. Do not want to contest a 3v4 scenario, especially not against both an Orbital Strike and a Rolling Thunder.
And the plan successful for PartyParrots. It hasn't been too much to separate these sides, but FABRIKEN looked a lot better on attack than defense on Ascent, and I would assume that the same case would be here as well. Not having this age means you don't have the same amount of stall, but I really don't think that that's kind of the problem that we're seeing faced for FABRIKEN. It's just so difficult to ward off these retakes way and out of the hands from PartyParrots, who still have the majority of ultimates left available to them. The things are going really well for them, and FABRIKEN have only won 1 round in the last 5. Really need to bring something back, otherwise PartyParrots are going to keep steaming ahead.
Well, speaking of retakes, by the way, if you look at where we are in terms of rounds 1, it's been 3 successful Spike explosions, 1 for PartyParrots, and only 1 defuse going the way of FABRIKEN as well. So out of a confirmed 4 plants, only 1 was a successful retake and defuse. And well, with the 1 kill onto PartyParrots member Angel, their leader here, their veteran here, one of the ultimate carriers as well. It's not looking great for PartyParrots opening attack on towards this next round of number 8, but they still make it onto site.
Doctor Strike is going to flush out a few people. Latex's positioning wasn't checked. The wall is going to come through to offer a bit of respite for PartyParrots, but you can see the utility still being thrown in. Zipan is going to play it super aggressively, gets traded, but still can get the kill onto Shao. It's a 2 versus 2 now. Artist is going to try and get the spray down yet again. Now just a 1v1 or 1v2 now, but 1v1, the Stinks is just going to be dinked down. Both these teams traded kills off each other. FABRIKEN can keep themselves in it.
Here.
So now that's going to be doubling up in terms of the defuse victories for this half so far, from 1 over to 2 in the last 3 rounds. Especially PartyParrots have had a lot of plants overall. It's been at least 5 plants, at least based on how the round summaries have gone. 4 and 4 the overall scoreline. So once again, a very close half that we can see here. 4 rounds, 1 apiece. Money situation still uncomfortable because we've been trading back and forth for the last 4 rounds in a row. No team has been able to just build up a decent bank.
They are really taking chunks out of each other in this boxing match between the two. Not really any knockouts just yet. Just some solid hits. And Angel has certainly been one of the heavyweights leading those charges. And it's really difficult for FABRIKEN to read what the plays are going to be for PartyParrots on these defenses. Just try and hold their ground. The Aldron is going to show up 2 members at least of PartyParrots, so the rotation is going to slowly make its way in for Leodeads, but they're still very unsure on how they want to play this.
Well, I mean, FABRIKEN right now are not actually rotating any more extra members over towards B. Seeing 2 members does not actually confirm the push itself. That it's a very interesting defensive rolling thunder that pushes away the attacking side of Artist. But what's happening towards Hookah, that's actually what you need to look out for. Zapan's got it under control for now. In fact, he's very much got that one under control. He owns it. It's under his name. He signed the lease for it. 3 kills. Insane number of kills. Insane amount of pressure. The last member surviving here just wants to run away. Dinks, what has he got into his hands? Because I guess it really doesn't matter if he's got a gun into his hands. That's going to be enough.
It was important play from Zipan to hold the line. Changed up his position a little bit to be a bit more defensive. Traded for his teammate. And just went frag heavy, even throughout the shell stop, which didn't catch too much, but his guns certainly did. FABRIKEN doing better on his defenses now, holding it off. And they seem to be poised for the executes now with ultimates thrown in. The orbital strike was used from Angel, but didn't catch anybody, didn't flush anybody out. FABRIKEN seemed to be poised for it, well prepared, and dealt with it very well. PartyParrots are forced to save. And FABRIKEN go into a lead again as we're getting towards the end of this half.
And they finally get 2 in a row. They got 2 in a row early on off the back of Pistol and Anti-Eco, and it's been a while since then. They've been going back and forth. There's even a little bit of a lull period there where 3 rounds went the way of PartyParrots in a row and no response realistically from FABRIKEN for a while. Like I sort of mentioned, finally getting the lead. They haven't been in the lead since the 3rd round, realistically speaking. Like the 4th round was evened up by PartyParrots. In fact, right now it could be evened up by PartyParrots. They could take this one 5 and 5, and that would make things very interesting. But PartyParrots don't have cash. They don't have the right gear. They have only 3 members, so 2 members with full armor, 3 members on light armor, and 2 missing rifles.
Still going to make a good go of attacking on A. The spike is more towards Marketplace, but it seems that Artist is going to pick it up and rotate around. With Shao playing more of a lurking role, but FABRIKEN aren't going to push this. I think they know better, and they are in pole position to keep hold of this. Zipan, though, is out in the open and can easily be cut out if he's not careful. But he is careful and gets the kill onto Artist. Wasn't sure that Angel had made that much track, though. He's gone into U-Haul like he likes to hold in. The rest of PartyParrots are going to make their way onto the site and get the plant in.
That is the absolute worst member for PartyParrots to lose on their rotation onto A. They confirmed that the spike was overall towards A. That's why all the FABRIKEN are now here for the party. Indeed, 4v4, no heal available either. Ressus K, who's on critical HP, they want to use these ultimates. In fact, they got to use these ultimates at the sort of stage where PartyParrots can't afford to lose again. If they lose again, I'm sure they're going to have to eco. That is a situation they cannot really afford to be in. So, the Rolling Thunder must be used here. Ressus K has to be in position.
Oh, Shadow's got some really good flashpoints to open up the site. He's going to try and get a few more kills in. There's just 2 members of PartyParrots left to survive. 1 more, and the Rolling Thunder comes out from SSK from toilets. They know where he is. He's buying so much time. Nobody's going to be able to peek him. They're just going to go for the kill and maybe have enough time. It doesn't look like it, though.
Should have thought about using that
Second
one
and
a little bit earlier when he had more teammates available and alive to try and contest the defuse. And while they'll lose that round now, he'll have expended an ultimate, given up his life, given up the life of all of his teammates, and they'll be going towards a section now where they may force by this one. In fact, Angels picked up a rifle. They are trying their hardest to stay into this one from a money perspective. Didn't look like they were going to have much money to play with, but they were able to just scrounge up enough. But how much are they giving up for this one? Surely they're not going to really have enough utility. Yeah, you'll spend money on the guns, but no one had more than 4K realistically. No one had really a lot of money to work with. Somebody had at least 4K to buy an operator, but you don't have full armor. You're definitely not going to have utility.
FABRIKEN going to halftime, at least even on score, but they want to be pushing this up as much as possible, especially now that they seem to have beaten down PartyParrots a little bit. They can still afford, but they don't look as comfortable or as aggressive as they did earlier on this attack on Bind. So Shaw's going to make some headway into Hookah using the recon bolt that doesn't quite catch all that much, but knows that the coast is clear to go that direction if they want to. These FABRIKEN defenses have been good, but the retakes have been still relatively sloppy. So both these teams looking a bit more exhausted, but they need to keep going. The finals are still here.
Horton map, and maybe even still one more ahead of us if we do see PartyParrots able to bring this one home. They would have to start catching up very quickly. Leo Dead's timing is awful for him as Angel just pushes on in. Latex, though, from the U-Haul angle will have the kills necessary to stop this push from coming in any further. They've even seen the spike. I don't know why FABRIKEN have not responded yet. FABRIKEN still have 3 members on B. What are you doing? You know the spike was dropped on A.
Look at all the space that PartyParrots are able to take for free. They know that Latex is around. He's keeping a close eye on it, and the flash is going to be good. Gets Latex, and yeah, you're right. The rotation is far too slow. Big mistake from FABRIKEN. It is a free versus free, and they do have a neural theft. But this is going to be dicey.
Slow would be generous, Ryan. Slow would be generous because they saw the spike. They killed the spike carrier, and no one moved from B. They just gave up Angel. Sorry, they gave up Latex. They died for nothing. Better now won't be able to take U-Hauls with this Aftershock in his way. 1-for-1 trade so far. Dix drops the operator. Now SSK potentially in trouble. Down for the count. 1 versus 1 situation. Shao should be able to get this, so he does have the Hunter's Fury, but he's in a really precarious position. He'll have to swing this one dry. Gets the kill. Nice headshot connection. I was thinking he'll have to use the Hunter's Fury, but he won't even need to expend that one. PartyParrots, off of the blessings of Latex and the rest of FABRIKEN, are rewarded with a free round presented on a silver platter, with FABRIKEN leaving 3 members doing absolutely nothing on B.
What a mistake, but what a recon bolt from Shell towards the end there. That was like 900 IQ to place it. Know that if somebody was going to peek him aggressively, they would have to show their face, and a fairly easy kill for him to get onto Shadow Lulls when he has that kind of intel. More ultimates available on their side, but look at Meadow. He's just stomping in, misses up all of his shots, and SSK mows it down. That was so staggered from FABRIKEN. You thought that mistake was bad. That was even worse.
Well, it'll be worse in the sense that we're definitely going to see the 6-6 come on through now. FABRIKEN are just a generous team. What can I say, Ryan? They're so willing to give away kills, give away plans. Latex now will send his ultimate straight onto the site itself, but there's not been a commitment for the plant itself either. SSK, 4 kills claimed, will not find the 5th one. And 1 minute remaining. 1 versus 2 scenario. Resurrection to come through, make it a 1v3. Why don't we use the neural theft as well? That will really make Leo Dead sweat.
Yeah, it has to be super careful how we approach this. Has to go for it. It's half time across the other side of this round. There's no point not going for it, but Dinks is going to get it. SSK just came in and blundered it through. Well, barreled it through. The blunders came from FABRIKEN. They wanted to do this aggressive double or even triple peak, but it was staggered. It allowed 1v1s, and Meadow just led his team like lemmings to their death. Really, FABRIKEN should have gone into this half with a lead, but PartyParrots have clawed it back.
This is a nice spot.
Now, PartyParrots want to set up for a defense, catch out FABRIKEN, but FABRIKEN's attack on the set was pretty nutty. They could do something similar. They have this in the bag. If not, PartyParrots are going to bring it back.
Oh, what can I say? It's 10 close rounds followed by 2 complete fumbles by FABRIKEN. They'll need to get the confidence back and He has to get the executions on point as well. We talked about the Sageless comp and maybe the potential difficulties of trying to be able to take this with no wall executes, especially on the pistols. This is where I really look at Artist. What can he do? He's in position now where he'll see information. He'll be in position to use his utility here to be able to really hold off on the attack and push the attack backwards. You can see that SSK is rotating as well. This could be a very good movement from PartyParrot.
They're lining up. And then other people are going in, but Zipan's just trying to go for the headshot, can't catch it, so he's just going to brute force it. The Recon bot's going to give it up, and that's going to be a pretty well-placed paint shell. Doesn't get the frag, or doesn't even get any damage in. It seems Artist is just winning by attrition, getting those shots in. Stinks goes down. Zipan's trying to get a lot done, but Artist gets a second, gets his third. Trying to get his fourth, but Shadowlaw's is the last alive. He's going to get the plant in, and puts it into a 1v1 against Shao. Both MVP so far.
Massive kill coming through from Artist to get 3 in Shao to finish off the last member there. Shadowlaw's trying to make his way out with the, I guess, the flash there. The flash point over towards him. Turned around, Shao catches it, doesn't get flashed for too long, and it's Artist you have to credit there for the majority of the legwork being done. The heavy lifting carried over from the Sage player. Didn't even buy a wall, by the way, opted to buy both of his slow orbs. I would have expected that if you're going into the pistol, you are either buying a wall plus armor or wall plus both orbs and no armor. He went for the slow orbs, kind of works out for him. I still think the wall is stronger at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. They get that win, and they lead now by 1.
The stacking of pistols is going to head on towards A. Angel is there to greet them and meet them from U-Haul. Seems to really like this positioning. It's going to molly to create himself a bit of space, but it's actually Shao from Heaven with the Vandal that gets the first frag onto Meadow. Angel is still holding his ground with a Ghost yet again, not buying full. Zipan is able to make sure that frag comes in.
I don't know what that was at the end of the day. He doesn't even go for the melee hit into Zipan's. He's like, okay, what's going on here? Someone's just got his axe out, trying to run past me at this situation. Still, though, despite that kill coming through for Zipan, he's still only got one other teammate to work with. And Leo can't quite confirm the kill. I lie, he'll find it through the wall. Just a pixel there to work with, and Zipan as well. Oh my god, they've actually been able to get a couple of kills. It will not be enough to actually win the round. We didn't expect them to win the round. We expected them to do some damage, and they've done that.
And it's going to be a big buy. No ultimates available, of course, not yet. FABRIKEN haven't had that much of an impact. The ult is available, the Resurrect from Artist, and we saw this in the semi-final against Royals. These early Resurrects can really turn the tide of an engagement. And that swinging momentum is usually what PartyParrots can use to cause a bit of whiplash onto the enemy team, so I'd expect to see something relatively similar here. It seems that Angel is going to push up rather aggressively on the other side of the smoke, but it's caught out. Zipan's going to give chase and punishes that 100% of the time.
Bomb buddy out.
That's going to completely leave A open. The flank over towards the shower side for Meadow as well should be very successful. Zipan's going to dive straight in, connects the headshot straight away. The confidence to be able to do that, and he'll pick up 3 total. This is going to be the round now. FABRIKEN have come back. What res we're saying? What Sage? What is that? Zipan will knock down Artist. 4 kills. That round ended so fast. I believe we barely even got 30 or 40 seconds in. That was just in and out.
It all started from Angel being a bit too overzealous, and you can't really give Zipan that time to breathe. This is his game. This is a sterling performance being added on top to all of the other sterling performances that Zipan has had available for him. And perfect raise play. Gets a normal frag, uses a blast plaque to jump onto high ground, pulls out the showstopper, just dunks on whoever's beneath him. Perfect play, and exactly what FABRIKEN need right now.
And again, he'll be hitting the 20 bomb this map for sure. We're only 15 rounds in. This is number 16. He's on 19 kills overall, and his KD is far better than what we saw on Ascent. He struggled. He's eventually coming back strong. Spike has not been committed over towards any particular site right now. It's just kind of in neutral territory. We're working both ends. There will be contact over towards the shower side, and Meadow will be the one to clean up that kill. No response coming through Shell. So slow. Why did he wait so long? If Shell just peeks straight away, he might have been able to get the trade, but he'll now give away his life, and that is going to be the A side open up. PartyParrots are just all stacking over towards B. They're even trying to walk up B long and wasting all this time. You lost 2 members over towards A. It's definitely A. The only thing you could be doing right now if you're not rotating to the site is you're thinking about saving.
Seems to be really the case. It's at a snail's pace to the point the Shadow is going to try and meet them. He's going to run into them at this point. Can't win the engagement. They need to be careful that they don't open up the door too much for PartyParrots to go on this retake. But yeah, Zapan, as you mentioned, is the one that's going to push up a little bit further. Yet again, the surviving members of PartyParrots are going to chip away at FABRIKEN, at their economy. Could even go for this teleport, but there's really not enough time to try and get the defuse in. But that kind of went as they hoped, really. Saved the guns, do a bit more damage to FABRIKEN, who were a bit too over-aggressive.
It's not bad takes. I mean, you'll give that to PartyParrots. You'll say, hey, we actually got some kills out of that one. One more, maybe. SSK got a bit too greedy. He thought, well, I'm the only guy that actually doesn't have a rifle to save into the next round. I might as well go for something. And he won't be able to find the rest as the last two members of the life of PartyParrots hanging out near the teleporter and would have absolutely have taken the teleporter if they got into any bit of mess there. I would have actually expected to hear that maybe SSK stays alive because he's going to just rebuy onto a Bucky. I'm sure he actually had a better gun than a Bucky. He might have had an SMG. I'm trying to remember what gun he died with. In either case, this is not a comfortable buy for PartyParrots, and they should feel like their chances of winning this round should be fairly slim.
FABRIKEN have fallen a bit from grace in some of these pushes themselves, though. So anything is still likely to happen in the next 90 seconds. They are going to push very aggressively, though, into hookah, though. SSK
shotgun
is ready and waiting. Yeah, with a shotgun, no doubt. Stood on the boxes and a nice bit of an off angle. But could be cleared out here. There's no fear, actually, coming out of the raise. It gives away a positioning. Throws up the bass pack to get some damage in, but not really enough. The shotbot's even still really going to miss him, but chips him down enough that he has no armor anymore. Staying stalwart, SSK is going to hold this ground.
Patience is a virtue, Ryan. I'll see if that pays off for SSK. He really wants someone to peek him here. Multiple members. He heard the footsteps. He was smacking his lips because it was dinner time. It was chow time. Someone was ringing the dinner bell. Still could be someone pushing through. Oh, yep, he'll find it. Barely. Has to flick down. Is able to collect that kill onto the major fragger on the other end. And this is now going to be a lot more possible. Still a difficult round. SSK even gets more. He's still hungry. He's a grown boy. Two more alive for FABRIKEN. Can they make something happen here? Just the one now.
Silence.
And Leo Deads is going to try and just do some damage.
Like I mentioned, FABRIKEN seemed to fall apart in important rounds like that. It was really well played from PartyParrots to use their guns to their advantages. SSK holding the line and holding the top frags for his team at least, but still barely going even when it comes to KD. It's a struggle. It seems that everybody's pretty much doing passively okay for PartyParrots, but still have the lead against FABRIKEN, who have certainly been a bit more hot and cold when it comes to the performances that have been had. It's still good for FABRIKEN when it comes to economy. Certainly with ultimates that they have available, there's some stuff to be had. Zifan isn't that far away from having a new showstopper, but Shadow wants to go aggressive with the op.
And unfortunately, I might have cursed the pan a little bit earlier on. I said he was only one away from dropping the 20 bomb, and since then, 2 rounds have gone by and no kills have showed up for him. It's just completely been blocked out. Hill entry now over towards hookah. Clean so far. No SSK to be seen. No close range Buckies to be addressed there. Neutral positioning for the spike, and Zapan is trying to test the waters on towards hookah. He's getting a little aggressive now. Doesn't actually spot SSK moving towards the cubby, and he'll give up that position now, but not before he forces a rotation over from the last A defender there. Angel has made his way over towards B as the rest of FABRIKEN make their way to A.
Which they're thankful they chose the right option there, because that gauntlet was looking dicey from PartyParrots. The Opto Strike isn't going to catch too much, but FABRIKEN, get moving. You've used that ultimate to clear some space, and then you just stay static. This panic is not great. Shower's the only one there, and it's afforded the retake to come in. The Angel is now available to help out when necessary. The Spike Plant does come in, and this looks like a really uncomfortable retake from FABRIKEN. PartyParrots just keeping their cool, and they're going to chip away bit by bit, but if there's enough time on the clock, we'll have to see.
There's a really decent usage of the Rolling Thunder there. Not decent enough to make sure that Angel's still alive, unfortunately. We'll get resurrected back into play, but Shao is holding up strong right now. The Sentinel that he is, Rolling Thunder, not even going to be able to reach him. Shell goes for 3 this round, and suddenly Latex is wondering where all his teammates went. There were still 2 ultimates available for them. finds one through the smoke, a second one as well, but unfortunately it does reveal his positioning and Angel will respond. And Angel has been quite a massive player shooting through smokes. He's had 3 kills through smokes even a little bit earlier on. So a little bit of repeat action, I should probably say, in Japan. Look, he was only 1 away, and he finally gets that 1 kill to make sure it's 20.
When there's only one person holding onto the A site, it shouldn't have been that hard for FABRIKEN to just put the pedal to the metal and get that plant in. All of that time wasted allowed PartyParrots to take that much more passively, just bide their time, wait for smokes to fade, wait for utility to be used, and they fell right into FABRIKEN's trap. They were falling behind, and that momentum that we saw, that bright spark of play, feels like it's been snuffed out, and they feel a little bit more lost on how to approach some of these pushes. They are going to push again onto the B site. We've only a couple of ultimates to their name.
Now, PartyParrots have confirmed double digits. They've got 2 rounds up over FABRIKEN right now. 2 ultimates on both ends. Your value, PartyParrots' ultimate slightly higher, as PartyParrots will expend one of those ultimates now. That is going to be Shao with the Hunter's Fury. I do not believe he connects onto anybody. He is testing to see what happens over towards the B ramp side of things. And well, there's 2 players there, but I don't think they got any info. And now rotating over Angel. At least he'll be going the right time, right plays. The Odeds will get one to SSK, and suddenly we've opened the doors. FABRIKEN are in. PartyParrots do not have a response. Not even going to see the orbital strike here, Ryan. This is going awfully for this defense.
FABRIKEN showing their more aggressive side. The showstopper dedicated yet again from Zipan that catches nobody. I feel like the damage is done. It's not necessary. It's just going to be the Silver and the Side for the Intel duo, trying to scout out as much as they can, but all they're doing is scouting out an exit, backing off. Positioning isn't going to necessarily be given up by Shao, who's holding onto the operator. It's going to get exit frags, nothing more. Opens up a little bit more of a window for FABRIKEN to come back in.
An exit frag will be generous at this point. FABRIKEN would have to be that giving team that they were in the last 2 rounds of their first half to start giving away kills like that again. They've started to redeem themselves now with this particular take. It was beautiful, it was brutal in how quick and how effective it was in shutting down PartyParrots. 3 kills, very fast. And now 9-10, still keeping this one tight. 1 round separates these 2 teams in our map 2 of the grand finals, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have this in a very one-sided fashion. I expected that these 2 teams were going to be competitive, and that is the game that we've brought ourselves in.
FABRIKEN expending all of the ultimates that they had available to them, and ultimates that they found all the way through that map. You can see 0 out of 6, 0 out of 7, 1 out of 7, 0 out of 7 when it comes to the ultimate charge that they have. So this is a bit of an advantage for PartyParrots. The orbital strike, of course, wasn't used in the last round. The PartyParrots and Angel specifically will want to find a nice way to use it, break some of that speed in which FABRIKEN are pushing onto sites. But again, it's happening. They're over on this B site stacked up as a 4. It's just Shell left on A. But FABRIKEN are bottlenecking a little bit, which is, you know, if you're running an operator, fish in a barrel.
Well, Shao's about to get killed here because he's not looking the right place. He's about to get executed on. Nice shot just before the smoke lands, and Angel finds himself in the wrong location again. Doesn't connect onto the player revealed through the smoke as well. Now just have to buy time for the rest of his team members. They've confirmed that the spike has been planted onto the tri-box. Again, no shot connected through that box either. Wallbang is not being effective for Shao on this particular defense now, as Shadow Lulz is having no trouble finding that tap onto Angel. So Angel just has not a lot to do here. Goes over to be a little bit too early, comes back to A and finds himself dead.
Shadow Lulz needs to deal with the operator that's killing off his team now as Leo that goes down. Shadow is also low health, so having that engagement with an operator player isn't too bad. Doesn't matter where you get hit, it's a one-shot. But Artist out of nowhere sneaks in. Shao gets his 3rd. Meadow is the last one alive to stall this for as long as possible. He has a difficult job as Shao's looking, gets the 4K. Is there going to be enough time? Just 0.83 seconds left. All because of Shao on Heaven. FABRIKEN just not punishing him. He was allowed to do whatever the hell he wanted.
And it was perfect as well. 4 kills overall. If that had gone any other way towards the end, if he doesn't connect that last shot either, the defuse doesn't come on through. You saw how tight the defuse was. It ends up being that we didn't need Angel on that particular defense, and he gambled. Angel gambled towards B. He was rewarded for that in 2 rounds ago. when it was actually a 4-stack B defense, and somehow they still lost 3 members, and somehow they still failed to defend that one this time around. He's not available on towards A. Shao has to solo hold that one. Starts off with a nice peek, nice kill onto Japan, and that's always a great way to start the round if you're Shao. And now he's in position again because it's everyone flooding towards him. In fact, they are very, very sure that this is going to be an A hit. 4 members have arrived, and Shao has got all the backup in the world.
This is looking to be a bit of a disaster for FABRIKEN. The information is scouted out though with him and the operator. They need to be very careful if they're going to push through toilets, but they seem to be caught up now as Shao's keeping a bit of a crossfire, misses his shots, and a bit more pressure is put in. ShadowLawz wins the operator engagement by getting the first kill onto Angel, but there's still more people that died. Even it's Meadow that's opened up the site a little bit. Shadow gets his second. He's going to try and scout out exactly where Dinks is going to be with the operator, gets the third. And man, this is becoming an operator battle with a double up strategy from PartyParrots. Not winning that time. The hard engagement was won by FABRIKEN.
And maybe Shao just needed to play Heaven again. It doesn't really make a lot of sense when he's holding 1 versus 5 and he ends up with 4 kills there. Obviously, a few members had to rotate for him and to try and stay alive and to really play bait for him and in all sorts of other situations. But when he's actually got the full lineup of the rest of the defenders coming his way, he had 4 team members, including himself, so 3 other team members there defending A with him. And he buckles. I don't understand what happened there. When he's by himself, he did great.
Dinks is the first to get the kill in this round. It's backed off a considerable distance after he got it. He's going to play much more passively now. There's no resurrect for FABRIKEN. They don't like the Sage. They don't like using it, so they've just got to go natural with this 4 players left on this attack. The PartyParrots aren't being over egregious. They're not pushing too hard. All they are doing is just sitting back and relaxing, taking space and making it difficult for FABRIKEN to push this now. They are taking it super slowly and time is very much not on their side.
Big thing to note is that Artist is 6 out of 7 in terms of the ult charge. Didn't manage to quite steal an orb anywhere. No aggressive players over towards long, and probably for the best as well because that's where FABRIKEN are pushing currently. Might be looking towards the teleporter. We'll play one in the teleporter, confirm the second in the teleporter. Meta is just going to open up the A site so no one can respond to the teleporter play now. The rest of PartyParrots are going to start making their way over. But again, only 6 out of 7 for the ult charge. No res just yet for PartyParrots.
The orbital strike used by Angel to create a bit of space. The spike is still going to come in, but Leo dead from distance again. The operator from Dinks isn't really being shut down. ShadowLawz is going to roll in thunder across heaven, but misses everybody as they've rotated in. Super easy for PartyParrots to get this defuse in now, as the weekend FABRIKEN couldn't do too much. It puts the CIS team on match point.
Maybe this is what it takes. Maybe it's Shao giving over the operator to Dink saying, hey, okay, I missed a lot of shots in that previous round. I'm not feeling as hot as I was previous to that. So here you go. See what you can do with that one. He's able to find a decent number of picks. Dinks opens up massively to allow PartyParrots to now be on map point, and the potential to take us to a third map would require FABRIKEN now to win 2 in a row to get us to OT, and a third one to be able to actually take this one 2-0 for a grand final victory. It's a tall order, Ryan, and if FABRIKEN can win in this sort of circumstance, then they would absolutely be deserving of the title of grand champion.
They don't want it to go to a third map. Their players slow down a lot, but they only need to string together 3 more rounds to be the champions. Otherwise, we're going to split in the deciding map. And I think FABRIKEN have so much to do now. No ultimates, barely scraping together a few guns. I think Leoded's had a stinger last time I checked. Up against 3 ultimates and big guns and big economy from PartyParrots that are going to string all this together. Having a few more rounds to play with, but it's all or nothing now, it feels. If one gets first blood, it tends to be good from there.
Angel needed to be the man of the hour, but it's going the way of Japan so far. He doesn't really get much more done. Fairly 1-for-1 trades here. Importantly, Artist is down. No more resurrection. This is a good opportunity now for FABRIKEN. Latex off the back of that plant as well will now have the orbital strike. Needs to find his way off site to be able to make use of that one. 2 alive now, and PartyParrots are not looking like they'll be able to win this. FABRIKEN will need 1 more round after this. Should be 11 now on towards this final couple of rounds here. in this grand final map number 2. Yep, PartyParrots will back out, and FABRIKEN have bought themselves a lifeline.
And they've got themselves 2 ultimates now. Orbital Strike and the Showstopper are going to be present with them as they go 11-12. They want to use everything that they have. They're not taking it with them if they go into overtime. They're certainly not taking it with them if they lose. SSK could catch out these players if they decide to leave the box in here. Aftershock is going to be used, but I think they're just going to back out. They survive. No damage.
SSK dying there is a way bigger risk. If he manages to survive, that's the important thing here, Ryan. If he actually dies there, SSK was in a position where he does not want to reveal his position. If he dies there and he drops the gun, this is an awkward position for PartyParrots in terms of where the money is, where the economy is, where the buy is. He saves his rifle, and he had to drop for another teammate, so I don't know, if he has to buy it for himself, he can't afford that drop, and then we'd have somebody on the PartyParrots not quite at full capacity in terms of what they want to purchase up. Not going to be the case this time around. This is going to be a big round. Look towards A. Angel pushed up. Angel's really pushed up. 2 for 2. His leg ticks in, Angel. Both go down. But both get kills as well. A site is where the action will be. Artist can resurrect now, assuming he survives this one. PartyParrots might take us to a third map there. In position. 3 versus 2. Now 2 versus 2. Resurrection off the table. Thinks will make it a lot better for PartyParrots, and it's not going to happen for Leo Dids. Not going to happen for FABRIKEN as well. PartyParrots are not out of this game. They are not out of the grand finals, and we will be going